This is the video that I know a lot of you have been waiting for, and I'm so sorry that it took me ages to get this video up. When I sat down to think about what I wanted to say, there was actually quite a lot of points that I wanted to include in this video. So this video is how to make friends when you start a new school, how to just make conversation with somebody that you don't know, topics of conversation, but I think what I want to do is make this video mainly for people at school. And I know it's so hard when you go to a new school and you don't know anyone, because everyone has been in that situation, and you know, you're worried about what people are going to think about you, you're worried about whether people are going to like you, you're worried about getting bullied, you're worried about fitting in, you're worried about so many things, and then on top of that you've got to get through your education at the same time. So I honestly know how horrible it is to start a new school and not know anyone, because I had to do that at the age of 13, and girls are really bitchy at the age of 13. Also, I used to be quite a shy person as well. Believe it or not, I was not one for talking. I got a summer job when I was really young, when I was 15, 16, and at that time I was still really shy, but I got a summer job, so I was working with the public, and I was working as a cashier person, so I kind of started to learn how to speak to people that I didn't know. I learned how to kind of make people laugh. I kind of learned how to just make a general chit-chat conversation with people that I didn't know. And then obviously once I started my job and I had to be in a room with somebody for 25 minutes, somebody I'd never met in my life, I kind of just had to learn to make conversation. I kind of had to learn to make things comfortable, and I just had to sort of get on with it. And I know that a lot of you guys are struggling because you're going to new schools and you're really worried about it. So I am going to run through some things with you that I think will help you kind of fit in. Things of conversation, things that you can talk about with other people, how to bring up conversations with other people, how to start conversations, and just generally how to try and make friends at a new school. So this video was totally inspired by Beauty Crush, because she made a whole video about social anxiety and just being really shy and her having panic attacks. And I know that a lot of the situations, some people don't have that extreme of social anxiety, but people do get really shy and find it really hard to talk to people they don't know. They don't like going to parties because they're so worried about talking to people that they don't know. And you know, starting a new school is very much like that. So I think a lot of the time people get really shy because they're not confident and because they're worried about what other people think. So first of all, you have to think about all the things that you think about yourself that are great. So you know, there's got to be lots and lots of things that you are good at, like playing sports or listening to people or writing, creative. There's got to be lots of things that you are much better at than other people, despite whether you think it or not. So the first thing is when you walk into your classroom for the first time, don't look absolutely terrified, because people are gonna look and be like, oh my god, that girl is absolutely terrified. She's not gonna talk to anybody. She's gonna be really quiet. And as soon as you look terrified, you kind of look like you have no confidence as well. So I'd say the first thing you need to do is walk into your classroom and just sort of smile. Not creepily smiling at everybody, but just walk in with a little bit of confidence, and you don't really care what people think, and just go in and look happy and look smiley, and you know, just try to kind of blend in a little bit at the beginning. Don't look absolutely terrified, and don't sit there with a straight miserable face, because they're just going to go, oh my god, what is up with that girl's face. Make sure that you look approachable. So when you walk past somebody in the corridor, if you know that they're going to be sat in your classroom and you walk past their desk, just say hi. There's nothing wrong with just saying hi and then walking past them. You don't need to start a full-blown conversation at the beginning of school when you're just about to start your lessons. There's nothing wrong with just going in and saying hi if you walk past somebody, because they're going to know that you're new and they're going to know that you don't know anybody. So saying hi is kind of breaking that barrier so that you automatically become a little bit more approachable. Don't just grab your bag and run into the corner of the room and just sit further away from everybody else. Also, a lot of people are worried about the worst case scenarios. So in my experience, I have fallen flat on my face in front of a new class of students, and I think in that sort of situation the worst thing you can do is get terrified, look mortified on your face, and then run out because you're so embarrassed. The best thing to do in that situation is laugh hysterically, because if you look like you can take the mickey out of yourself and you can entertain other people at the same time, people are going to actually really like you. I farted in front of my class before, and that was really embarrassing, but again, I just laughed it off and I made a joke about something for breakfast that I'd ate, and people like that because you're automatically making them laugh. If you look absolutely terrified and then you run out of the class like, you know, just embarrassed and you don't want to see anybody, you are going to be absolutely mortified. You want to come back with absolutely no confidence. Just laugh it off, because in that situation, if somebody did that in front of you, you probably laugh as well. When it comes to like taking the mickey out of yourself, like, I know that I look about 12 years old and I know that I'm 4 foot nothing, and I will play on that and I will make jokes about it. I will make jokes about how I'm really bad at netball because I just cannot reach the ball and there is no point me playing and that kind of stuff. You know, if you can make a few jokes about stuff in yourself, I mean, obviously don't go and take the piss out of somebody else, but if you can take the mickey out of yourself, it just makes people like you a little bit more. I also think if you happen to be sat next to somebody that you don't know in a class, because that is the only seat that you've got left and you have to sit next to somebody, maybe try complimenting them. Maybe just saying, oh, you know, hey, that's a really nice pen that you have. Hey, I really like your bag today. I really like the way that you've done your hair today. It looks really nice. You don't have to start a whole conversation. You can just throw in like a little compliment. Unless you're like creepy with it, who doesn't like being told that their hair looks nice that day? Who doesn't like being told that you like their bag? The thing is, if they smile, I'm so sorry. If they smile, again, it just means that you've got a little bit more of a chance of making friends with them. You've got a little bit of a good start with them. So there's nothing wrong with kind of complimenting somebody that you're sat next to for the first time. But don't come across like you fancy them, because that might be a little bit weird. Like, don't compliment them on their beautiful smile, because that's just a bit weird. Also, if you kind of go into a classroom, there are probably going to be other new people as well, so you're not going to be the only new person probably in that class. So make friends with the people that are also quite new, and like, if you know that they're more nervous than you, make them feel more comfortable. Like, try and be more friendly with them, and you know, you guys can make friends together, because obviously it's really hard, but you'll find the people that don't know anyone, and you'll finally make friends with them as well, and then you guys can make friends together. So if there are other new people in the class, the chances are it's a great idea to sit next to them, but obviously say hi to the other people and come across as like friendly and approachable and stuff like that. Also, conversation topics that you can have. I wrote down like a couple of things that you can ask people. So say you're in a classroom and you're kind of going to the next class and you're just thinking, God, I really need to start talking to somebody because I don't have anyone to sit next to. You know, you can always say to people, you know, I've got this class to go to, can you show me where this room is? What subjects have you got next? Or, you know, if you're sat next to them and they look like they're a little bit stuck, just go, do you understand this? Because I don't understand this. Like, does this make sense to you? And like, make a little joke of it because you're both sat there like not really understanding. Or, you know, just start a conversation where you just be polite. Maybe just offer them a sweet or something. If you take a sweet out of your bag at lunchtime and you eat a sweet, just offer one to somebody else, because again, they're just going to think, oh, this person's quite nice, like they've just offered me a sweet and they don't know me. So these are random things that you can do to just start a conversation with somebody. So you can talk about, oh God, I've got to do this for homework, or oh, I'm going to the cinema tonight, I'm not going to have time to do my homework. Oh, I'm going to watch this film, I don't know if it's any good. Have you seen this film? I just think when you're at school, you could offer somebody, you know, to get lunch with them or something like that. You can ask somebody to show you where the next classroom is. You can ask somebody to show you where the toilet is. You can say, I've got this gym class next, but I don't know where I'm going. Could you show me? Like, these are sort of conversation things that you can just start asking people so that they feel like they want to speak to you. Whereas if you go in there and say nothing to anybody, they're probably just going to stare at you. I'm sorry, but they probably will just stare at you. The way to kind of like progress the conversation is to see how responsive they are to you first. So if you say to somebody, oh, you know, I'm going to go thinking about watching this movie, but I don't know if it's any good. If they say, oh, actually, I was thinking about watching that movie too, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's any good. There's nothing wrong with saying, do you want to go together? Like, do you want to check out this movie together? Or, oh, I'm going to go and get lunch. What are you going to do? Oh, do you want to go and get lunch together? Like, if they respond to you and they seem like fairly nice, then again, you can just quite easily carry on that conversation, and you know, that's kind of just how you make friends. So I think the easiest thing for me, like, I remember when I went to my first school for the first week and I was like 13, like nobody spoke to me. I ended up sitting in every class, like at the bloody front, in front of the teacher, with this like girl that barely could speak any English. And then one day I had like this geography class and everyone in the group was in their little cliques, and I thought, like, none of them seem to care that there's a new person. None of them seem to be worried about, oh, let's see if the new girl's nice so we can make friends with her. It was just a case of one day I happened to sit next to this girl in a geography class who was from one of these cliques, but she was obviously left by herself because there was like 7 of them and she had to sit next to me and we had to be in pairs. And I just remember like making her laugh because I like kept dropping stuff on the floor. I don't know what happened, but I just made her laugh somehow. And after that, she must have gone back to her friends and said, oh, by the way, this girl's really funny, like maybe we should be friends with her. And from then on, like I still am friends with these people from like today. So I think making somebody laugh is probably the best thing. And it was probably me just having a little bitch about the teacher or something, going, I don't understand any of this, what the fuck is she talking about? But I think again, just making somebody laugh is the best way to kind of just break that barrier of like awkwardness. Also, like just try to totally be yourself. Think of the reasons that your other friends were your friends in the first place. Think about the things that you do with your own friends. Think about the fun that you have with your family and your friends outside of school, and then just think, well, I have loads of friends, so these people would be really lucky to be my friend. And I just think, just totally be yourself. Don't try and act like something that you're not, because you can't keep it up. They don't know you, and remember what they see, like the first couple of times they see you, that's kind of what they remember. If they remember you coming in smiling and saying hi, they're more likely to want to be your friend than if you walk in looking absolutely terrified and you sit in the corner and you don't speak to anybody. So I think even if you're really shy and you don't know what to say, there is nothing wrong with just coming in, smiling and saying hi, and eventually someone will go, hey, so what's your name? Or just ask somebody what their name is. Like, that is the best way to make conversation with somebody. Don't think that you are beneath anybody. You have just as much right to be there as that person. And I know that a lot of times if you're in a class of girls or boys, like you're worried about being picked on, you're worried about what people are thinking of you. And I totally understand that, because I was so that person. Like, I was the person that wouldn't even like ask for the bill if I went out for dinner, you know, because I didn't want to put my hand up in a restaurant and for everyone to look at me. Now I'm like, do you know what? All of you have to ask for the bill, so why am I getting worried about it? So everyone's been in this situation of being shy. Have a little bit of confidence in yourself, and like I said, just try these little things if you go to a new school. And if you can do that and just make up random conversation with somebody, you are going to find that your teenage life at school is going to be so much easier. But like I said, just be approachable, look happy, look smiley, don't look creepy. And like I said, if you really get stuck, then throw in the odd compliment every now and then, because everybody loves a good compliment every now and then. I think it works a treat. If you make somebody feel good about themselves, they are much more likely to want to be your friend. So I really hope this has given you some little tricks and tips and things that you can try out if you're going to a new school. If you have any other questions, or you want me to do like another part on this, then let me know. But you need to tell me exactly what you want me to include. So I kind of base this around starting a new school and how to make friends and kind of conversations you can have. But if you want me to make a whole nother topic on something, then please let me know. If you thought this video was shit, then obviously tell me. But if you thought it was remotely even helpful, then it would be really nice to know what you guys think. So love you lots. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys soon.